Hey guys, my name is Heather Lindsey.
And my name is Cornelius Lindsey.
And I'm so excited that you landed on Life with the Lindseys.
This is so exciting. This gives us an opportunity to share our life with yours.
Yes, we're going to be talking about everything from entrepreneurship to ministry to your purpose to why you are here, family, parenting, relationships, marriage, sex, you name it. We are talking about it.
So thank you so much for joining us today with Life with the Lindseys. Enjoy it.
We don't know what we're talking about, though.
What are you talking about, man? What week do we ever know what we're talking about?
Can you be sweeter with me?
What week do we ever know what we're
Can
talking
you say, are we on right now?
Yeah, this is us. We're live.
Babe,
Yes.
can you be sweeter? The past couple of days, you've been super sweet and super nice and soft, and that moment wasn't very soft. Can you be softer with me?
Yes. What did you? So your question was, or your comment was, we don't have a topic.
Right. But
Maybe
it's not what you said. It's how you said it.
So okay, let me
word.
Let me reframe.
That's a word for somebody.
Let me reframe what I said. What week do we ever know what we're talking about?
That's so good. Good job.
Well, crap, I can't do that. What week do we ever know what we talking about?
I know, right? I don't know.
I ain't do that. But nonetheless, what's up, y'all? Yo, this is your boy, Cornelius Lindsey, and...
Did you just get your nails done?
No, I've been at the gym.
Can you go with me on Friday?
Go with you on Friday, where?
Get my nails done.
Oh, yeah, I can go.
I made it during our date day.
I saw the appointment that was on my calendar. But nevertheless,
we're going together.
Yes, I can go with you, but no, I've been outside and at the gym.
Your skin is popping.
Well, I appreciate that.
Can I lick it?
No, you can't lick my skin.
I just want to lick it. It looks juicy.
We're good to go. You want to? She said I look juicy.
You look juicy. Like put some oil on it. Just needs to
look greasy.
You look moisturized.
I look moisturized.
But what are we talking about?
We're talking about what we're talking about. Wasn't there? I remember there was one time that you were talking. You want to talk about something? We can get a chance to talk about. Was it on the last podcast we were talking about something? And you were like, "Oh my goodness, somebody who asked you about something."
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was.
Is it on your phone? Could you pull it up?
I don't know where it'd be, babe. It's been a minute.
Let's chill. Well, while you're looking that up, I'm gonna give everybody a musical interlude.
Baby, I legit don't know.
Let's chill.
Oh, it was how to keep the spark going in your marriage.
That's what I want to do.
Because
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, because the girl, she felt like she'd been with the guy for a year, but she was bored.
Too much for me.
But what do you do when the spark's gone and you're bored? And you think the grass is greener on the other side, and it ain't, because that grass need to be mowed too. That ninja crazy too. She's not crazy because, we're not crazy ladies, but that ninja crazy too.
That would probably be a good topic of discussion. And that is like in that moment, we should talk about delusion.
It's so funny because raising Taylor, it helps you to understand me better and women.
No. It helps to prove my point.
No.
Yes, it does. It does. It helps me to prove my point. It's like, okay, so the thing about y'all ladies is this.
Don't generalize me.
No. I said, okay, some of y'all ladies, a lot of y'all ladies, most of y'all ladies. The thing about it all is that y'all would be like, I ain't crazy. I know we ain't crazy. Y'all crazy. Everybody crazy. And then it reaches a certain time of the month, you like, yeah, I know we crazy, but we crazy. Then y'all give an excuse why y'all crazy.
The thing is this.
We make y'all
you
crazy.
Bleed. No, listen. You bleed for 6 days and don't die. And let me know how you feel every day. You have cramps. You get bloated 6 days a week. And then as you get older, when you ovulate, you bloat and you cramp as well. Oh, let's not even talk about periods, clotting that comes with that. Yes. And then on top of that, 6 days, hormonal breakouts. Your hormones are going like this. And then when you start popping out kids, your whole body just bleh. And then breastfeeding brings hormones. So if anything, men should be more supportive of what we go through.
I just feel like that statement itself is so loaded. Because although you carried a child for 9 months.
You're full of crap. I carried you. No, you didn't.
I carried you and you carried the child. Who massaged your legs every night? Who gave you a massage every night?
Sweetheart.
Who helped you?
Sweetheart.
Who was there? Who was there to pick you up when you was down? Who was there to hold your hand when you squeezed the life out of mine? Who was there to pick up the food that you wanted before Uber Eats was a thing? Who was there? Is what I want
Baby,
to know.
You were there.
Give me the word of the Lord.
All I'm saying is you were there. You're supportive. You're supportive. I'm not saying you weren't, sweetheart. You were supportive.
Who had to deal with the postpartum? Who had to be there?
Wait, deal with it? Oh, you had to deal with it?
Oh, shoot. That word.
Did you just say a bad word?
No. That ain't what I didn't like when I said deal with it. I wasn't saying like it was a job or it was a burden.
I just wish that men had to go through half of what we went through.
I'm sorry.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry that y'all listened to a serpent in the garden.
I'm sorry you couldn't communicate proper instructions.
I'm sorry. I apologize that you ate from a forbidden tree. I apologize.
I apologize that.
I apologize.
I apologize. Adam is a pansy and he just gonna take the fruit from his wife.
Hold up. Don't be. You will not disrespect Adam on this podcast.
It's yours now.
Maybe on this podcast you will not disrespect Adam. But what we will do is we will call Eve up on the carpet. She should have been in her place.
I'm sorry, if that man would have given us proper instructions, we would be in position. But like a fool, he gonna take the fruit too. Don't get me started. All I'm saying is if men were more supportive, women would be happier.
But we are supportive. I feel like men, we don't get the credit that we deserve. Men are extremely supportive. We're in my opinion, we're like overly supportive. We give so much doggone support that you don't even know how much support we give. Our report is huge.
Okay, Donald Trump.
It's big.
Okay.
Our support is great. It's great. It's huge. It's big. It's monumental. Like, it's big.
So did you wake up this morning?
You don't even care about what we do because it's just that great.
Babe.
It's just that great.
Babe, did you wake up this morning and say, I'm going to lie to my wife? Is that what you think about?
Oh, Jesus. That ain't, look, about what? About the support.
Let's talk about, can we focus?
Focus. I'm focused.
How do we get the spark back in your relationship when it's gone?
Why are we going to talk about relationships?
What else do you want to talk about? We talked about last week, the silver lining. Mm-hmm. And we talked about how.
Don't you have one of those things that you be, that you ask some people
I did, but baby, I didn't ask them now.
But I mean, don't you have, like, you didn't write down any of them?
Let me check. I don't think so.
Again, while you do that, I'll do a musical interlude. Let's chill, let's settle down, babe. That's what I want to do. It's just me and you. Somebody out there like
Walking by Faith.
We can talk about Walking by Faith.
We already right.
Okay, we didn't talk about that then. So I just, I just
talk about Walking by Faith. I like
relationships are just so.
No, I like that though, babe. I think we should talk about Walking by Faith because I feel like our whole life it's like a movie. I do. People don't see because we don't share like 80-90% of what happens, and it's literally like a movie.
It is a movie.
And we're like, how really, Lord? Like, and it's so dramatic. And it always works out.
He never does anything just normal.
Normal for us. It's always just like
normal. It always has to be like a big production show. It's always like, I want to break you out of this. And then it's like, what just happened?
Exactly.
Did this really just happen? But the crazy thing is that everything he does.
Come on.
Crazy thing he does. Don't get too far out of the camera.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to bring your pretty self back in.
I like to touch you and be close to you, baby.
The crazy thing is like, don't be putting your Heather. Can we concentrate, please? What the hell I say?
The thing about God.
Oh yeah, thing about God. The thing about God is that, it's always like He'll give us a glimpse. He'll give us a glimpse.
He does
of like the vision of what it looks like. It's almost like He gives us the picture. And then He says, and then it's almost like in your head, you're like, oh, this is the route I'm going to take. And you almost feel like, oh, this is going to be it.
Yeah.
This is the way He's going to do it. And you don't know what happens? It don't ever happen that way.
It's like a maze.
He'd be like, I got you. Got you. You ain't going that way.
You thought it was going to be like that. Or let me remove some people from your life real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, but I'm kind of glad of all the people
Heck
who
yeah.
were moved.
Bye.
I just, I think that sometimes you look at it and you start thinking like, oh God, I don't understand, why the detour. But then you really learn to kind of be grateful for the detour a little bit. Even though the detour is like, it's cumbersome. You don't understand. You don't get it. But
I thank God for it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thank God for
it. Because you're gonna get to the place you're going to. But the way he does it, I think the reason is that my phone
that is your phone.
Oh, you know who this is? This is the girl.
Yeah. You want to pause it?
Yeah, y'all. We'll be right back after a break because obviously I'm taking a phone call. Yo. So I'm super excited about our Monday midday encouragement from Life With the Lindseys. Like we have, it's been amazing already. Just be able to talk and be able to share things that we would like to continue to share from our podcast. But now we have a method to do that, and we love stereo to be able to do that.
Stereo is like my favorite. Yeah. I love it because after we have our show that airs on Friday for our podcast. And then on Monday, we can continue and we can take questions from people. They can leave voice notes. It's so nice to be able to connect with our listeners that type of way.
And here's the thing. They're doing it live. So it's not like you're recording something. It's like you're coming on and you're joining us. It's those times you've probably been listening to the podcast. You're like, oh my goodness, I wish I could say something here. Oh my goodness, I wish I could do this.
I agree with Heather.
I agree with well, okay.
We always agree with Heather.
Okay, we agree with Heather. Or like, oh, Cornelius just said that. Or when you wanted, like when I'm humming a song, you're like, oh, I know the song. Well, now that gives you that time live to be able to talk back with us. And we want that. Again, our podcast, it comes out on Fridays, but we're doing this midday encouragement with Life with the Lindseys on Mondays at noon Eastern time. So that is Mondays at noon Eastern time.
And how can we follow you on there?
It is stereo.com/thisiscornelius.
And I'm stereo.com/Heather L. Love.
So stereo.com, this is Cornelius, Heather L. Love. Make sure you download the Stereo app today.
The best app.
Come with us Mondays at 12 o'clock, noon Eastern time. And we are back. Sorry about that. We had, I take an important phone call because the life we live is definitely a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Only we could share, man.
Yeah, if only we could. Y'all wouldn't even believe it.
They wouldn't.
Even if we told you.
You'd be like, how, what, where? Because we think we laugh and we're like, how did that happen? It's only God.
I know. And oftentimes it's almost like, like some of the places, some of the green rooms we've been in, some of the places that we've been in, some of the people we've met, that people do know about and people don't even know about. It's like, it's almost like how some of the places we've been, like some of the things we've done, like when we look back at our life, like the short life we've lived,
it's crazy.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
We've been all over the world.
It's just the favor of God.
We've been all over the world.
All day.
And the thing is that people would assume all this has to be super easy. Like, anybody can do this. And I think that's the thing that catches most people up is because most of the people who, they get around us, they assume that they can do what we do, but they can't because they're not us.
Come on. That's why you got to walk in your lane and do what God has called. Come on, you to do.
Yeah, and that because you run the risk of assuming I can be what somebody else is.
Yeah,
because you think that you can do it better than how they do it, and you can't do it. That's where the grace of God comes in. It was a sermon I preached years ago. It was called I wrote a book about it. I read a book when God's hand is on you.
Yeah,
ain't that a book? I wrote a whole book called When God. I forgot when I wrote that book, but I preached a sermon about it.
Yeah.
Because when God's hand is on you, because when God's hand is on you, then no matter what happens, it is specific to you, and God will use you because His hand is on you. He won't use Esau because the hand is on the brother. I felt like I had a preach in my spirit.
Well, I also believe that we've shown ourselves faithful over and over again to the Lord with small and just been faithful and kept giving and kept trusting and kept stepping out on faith. So I feel like we've got so much seed in the ground. That's why we see like the different things that happen in our life. Mm-hmm. I feel like people see those things, but then they have no seed in the ground in their own life. Like, are you stepping out on faith? Are you doing what God is telling you to do? Like, you got to be faithful with small. I mean, there's been many times where God's told us to do things that we literally could not afford.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way in the physical, natural that we could do these things.
We hosted conferences in different countries
with no sponsors. With
no sponsor. No
sponsor. Like, we paid for that out of our own account. Like, we paid for our whole team to fly with us. And, paying for food. Imagine every meal. I mean, for 2 weeks, it was a 4-week tour.
It was a 4-week tour.
Every single meal for like 10 people. You know what I mean? Like
I remember.
Flights, thankfully some of our hotel was covered, but some of it wasn't. You know what I mean? So I look back and I'm like, how did we do that? Right?
Yeah, that's
it just doesn't make sense in the natural. And then when the Lord was like, make it free, it's like, huh?
Yeah.
You know why? But at the same time, it's like you look back and you're so thankful. And you have those flashbacks that remind you and give you hope moving forward for different things. And it's funny because I was telling my mom, like, kind of everything that's been going on in the house. And she's like, you know what? I love that you're always so positive. You're always looking on the bright side. But I look back and I'm like, God's been so good to us. He's been so faithful to us. Why not just find the beauty and joy in whatever season you're in, whether our house gets flooded or whether this happens or that happens, just finding the beauty where God has us and just taking life one day at a time. That's like my motto, one day at a time, because I'm a planner, a super planner. I can get overwhelmed if I'm not careful. And then I put all that pressure on you because you're like, whoa, Heather, slow down, just one day at a time. And then today will deal with itself and then we'll deal with tomorrow. Now spring is just right around the corner and that means it's time to get the lawn on track, babe. This is your area. This is your job. I know. Last thing that you want is another complicated or toxic lawn product, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is why we love Sunday. Y'all know I love my non-toxic things. I'm really big on that. Sunday is more than a lawn care product. It is a customized lawn plan that works with nature. They take out all the guesswork and unwanted chemicals so you can grow a beautiful lawn that is better for people, pets, and the planet.
Yeah, so I think one of the greatest things I love about Sunday is that once you get to know the product, you put in your information. So we put in our address.
Yeah.
They can get it from satellite imagery. They know the climate. They know the soil that we need. So everything that we get for our lawn is personalized to us. So that means that my neighbor could put in their address and they could get something that may be a little bit different than what we get because it's personalized with us. It's personalized with our lawn, with our soil, whatever that with whatever that we need. Sunday just gets it right, and they know how to get it right. And this patent that they have for making sure that they can take care of my lawn the best way is just amazing. Let Sunday take the guesswork out of growing a greener, more beautiful lawn this spring. Visit getsunday.com/LWTL to get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. Again, it's getsunday.com/LWTL to get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. That's $20 off your custom plan at getsunday.com/LWTL. I think that's a good thing to even segue into for those people who are listening or watching this and they're like, I'm a planner.
Oh gosh, and I'm such a planner.
And when you're a control freak and you're trying to live like by faith and like trust God, like it doesn't make sense. I don't think I'm like that. I think I can be a lot of like just kind of go with the flow. I'll figure it out when it happens or whatever.
No, you just be like, hey, we're going on tour. We ain't got no location. We ain't got no nothing.
Don't worry about it. We'll get there. But that's my life. I'm a challenger by nature. So I think that spontaneity kind of goes with my personality.
But I think it through for you.
I don't want to think it through.
I think it
when
through.
I went to Ethiopia, I didn't think it through. Remember the first time we went to Ethiopia, I didn't think it through.
Stressed me out.
I legit was in Dubai, and remember Jules came up to me. I was in the mall in Dubai because I went to get my camera fixed. And all I knew is God said to me, I want you to go to Ethiopia. And I was like, God, I ain't got no money. We were living in Mississippi at the time. I was like, God, I ain't got no money. I can't go. We
were struggling.
It ain't going. I can't. I ain't got nothing. And I had a camera that was brand new, and I let a guy hold it, and he dropped it. And I took it to it was either the Mall of Emirates or the Mall of Dubai, whichever one, Dubai Mall. And whichever one that has the three levels. And I took it to a camera store, and the guy was like, I don't know if I can fix this. If I did, it'll take me 96 hours, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I ain't got that long. I need you to fix it right now. And he's like, well, I can't. So I was pissed off. It was like 1,000 degrees outside.
That's Dubai,
and I went outside to get a taxi. I'm like, Lo, I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm pissed off. I'm gone. And I'll never forget, the Holy Spirit like spoke to me and compelled upon my heart. He's like, I want you to walk downstairs. You go to the third level and just walk straight. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard for in my life, but I ain't got nothing else to do. And I did it. And I'm walking, and there was Jules. She was standing there at an iPad, like, the iPad cover. She was standing there, and I was like, Jules? And she turned around. She's like, Jules smiled. I was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, Cornelius. I was like, what are you doing here? And she was like, God told me to come here. He told me to meet you. And I was like, you lying. She's like, no, he did. And I'm thinking to myself, like, he had to.
Because he told me to walk down here too.
I was like, really? She's like, yeah, he told me to. And he told me to pay for your trip to Ethiopia. And I was like, you lying. And she's like, no, he did.
Jules is amazing.
And so I got on the plane the next morning, left Dubai, and I went to Ethiopia. I got off the plane. I had $120 on me, babe.
Child. I'm in Mississippi stressed.
She in Mississippi, she's stressed. I had $120 US, and I landed. I was like, "Crap! Do I even need a shot? Do I need a visa?"
Well, you figured out quickly. You get a visa there.
$20. Yeah. I paid $20 for a visa. So I had $100 on me. I traded in for like 1,400 some Ethiopian birr, and I met this lady at the airport who took me to a guest house.
You just met this lady. That sounds really bad.
No. It was like I was at the airport, and it was like this.
Gotta clarify.
Yeah, it was
like a hostile situation.
It wasn't a hostile situation. It was a family, and they owned this guest house.
Yeah.
And
so you just went up to her like, "Hey, I'm new here," or did you know the family?
I didn't know the family. I know the family in the beginning, but I mean, it was literally a walk of faith. Like it was, how when Jesus told his disciples, he's like, I want you to leave your tunics, or leave your clothes, leave your coin purse, like leave your wallet, leave everything you got here, leave your sword, and I'm going to send you out. And it was literally a walk of faith for me. And when I got to the guy's house, to the guest house, he looked at me, he said, it's going to be $100 to stay for the entire time. And I was like, that's all I got, but I can't eat. I can't do nothing else. And then the lady came, she picked me back up the next morning, and she was like, I want you to meet my pastor. And I went and met her pastor. We actually met over coffee. And then after the meeting with him, he said, I want you to come preach at my church. I preached at his Bible study the next night. And then he said, I want you to preach at my church on that Sunday morning. I went to preach at his church. But the lady, she told me, she was like, I talked to my husband, and he said that he would be okay if you came and you stayed at our house. So I stayed at their house.
They had children and stuff. They were older and stuff too.
Yeah, the children and stuff were older, but it was, they also had a chef and had all this other kind of stuff. And I never missed a meal. I didn't miss breakfast. I didn't miss lunch. I didn't miss dinner. I went around anointing houses. It was great.
But the thing is, like, stuff like that builds up your faith so you can go to that next level. So while you're there, it's like, oh, you have, again, flashbacks of how God provided for you. So it makes it easier to continue to step out in faith because you saw so much proof of God coming through.
Absolutely.
And it's real. And I feel like you have to take that first step. What if you're like, I'm not going to Ethiopia. I don't have the money. I don't know how God's going to do it. Like, you won't see the breakthrough unless you take that step of faith. Mm-hmm. And how many of us are watching everybody take steps of faith and becoming bitter and hardened in our heart? God don't work. He don't come through. That's because you didn't take your step. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to step out on faith? Like, even when we moved to Mississippi, we booked our apartment online. We didn't even see it in person.
We didn't even see it. Remember, it was on Roach Street. And we were it was got roaches.
It was 127 South Roach Street.
Remember that? 127 South Roach Street. Right in the heart of downtown Jackson. And we were like, we don't even know. Like, what if the pictures don't even match?
It was
what it looks
crazy.
Like.
But to me, it didn't matter because I was like, I'm with you. And so to me, it was like, it didn't matter. Like, we
were newly married.
I was so happy because I was like, we're together. We'll figure it out.
And that's all we could do was just try to figure it out. Let's talk. Let's actually talk more about that time right after this.
Now, going to therapy has been a game changer in both of our lives.
Yeah.
We both have therapists that we go to on a regular basis. And that's why we love BetterHelp. It's not a crisis line, right? It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. And that's what I love about them. They'll assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. Isn't that cool?
That's
now
really
you
good.
can connect in a safe and private environment, and you can do it virtually, which is really key right now. And you can start communicating within 48 hours.
Yeah. I mean, they have, if you're looking for somebody out there to help you in, certain areas, they have it. Depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma. We can all deal with that. I mean,
that's real.
We're dealing with election fatigue. We're dealing with pandemic fatigue. We're dealing with mass fatigue. I mean, everybody is going through something. Anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem. It's convenient, it's professional, it's affordable. I mean, they even have financial aid that's available. I want you to start living a healthier life today. We both want you to. And as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Lindseys, LINDSEYS. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that is BetterHelp. HELP.com/Lindseys, LINDSEYS. So we're back, and that move to Mississippi was insane because I mean I was born in Mississippi, so it wasn't that big of a culture shock for me. But Jackson was a larger city than what I was born in. But you were born up north, so for you to have to deal with the southern.
It was a different type of Southern. Like they fried everything. I'm like, is there anything y'all don't fry down here? Like it's so unhealthy.
Remember that one restaurant we kept going to? It like the only thing on their menu was fried fish, fried chicken, French fries, and fried pickles. I think.
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember.
Like those only 4
and
things.
I ate meat at the beginning, so I would go eat fish with you.
I'd love to have some of that right now.
Yeah,
it was fried fish, fried chicken, French fries.
And it was good. I remember it being
fried pickles. We used to go a lot. It was amazing. It was really good.
Yeah, here, so many memories. I remember that's when I ate fish. So for the first 6 months of Mississippi, I ate fish and meat, and then I went plant-based after that.
I remember.
So it's been like 10 years.
A lot of people don't even know. A lot of people probably can remember. I don't know if a lot, but people can. A small group of people can probably remember the time we used to eat meat.
I know,
but
I would post.
I remember.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when we used to share that filet mignon. We used to go to Fresh Market.
Yes,
and we'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this."
We get one and cut it in half.
It was like $28 a pound. And we'd be like, give me that one right there. How much is that one? He'd be like, it's $17. We like, all right, we'll get it. We got back home and we cut it in half and
we would cook it.
We just tried to fill up more on carbs. We just, because the potatoes was cheap. You ate like a half a filet, which was about, I don't know, probably about 3.5 ounces each.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get a big baked potato and you kind of stuff that with butter and sugar and sour cream and stuff like that. And then I think you would like saute spinach and stuff. And you just had to make it work.
But that's been our mindset. Like we're hustlers in that mindset where we're like, we're resilient. We're just going to keep going. Even if you fast forward to like where we are now in life, like even when it was time for you to lay down the church, the Lord told you to do it. It's easy for us to take steps of faith because we know what happens every time we take a step of faith. We see great breakthrough in our life.
Yeah.
So it don't matter what nobody say. Like it literally does not matter what anybody says about what God has called us to do. Even when we stepped out on faith to go into full-time ministry and nobody supported us, nobody believed us. This was 2010. Nobody knew our names, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's like, but we still were like, let's remain obedient. Let's do what God's telling us to do. Let's be faithful with small. Let's just keep at it. And I don't know. I just feel like because we've passed so many tests, God can trust us with more. Yeah. And that's why I feel like he opens up doors. And that's why, because he knows in whatever setting we're in, we're always going to give him the glory. We're not going to compromise and we're not going to be moved by what people think about us.
And isn't it something that even after, when we first launched into full-time ministry the first time, we got attacked.
Oh, we got attacked bad.
It was like I remember we kept asking ourselves like, why us?
What did we do? We didn't do anything.
Like,
we're nobody.
And, and we got attacked then, and it was just like it didn't make any sense. But I've learned after the attack,
and it was a very public attack with our church and our circle.
Yeah, back then that was
it was a very
12
small
years ago.
Yeah, but nobody knew who we were.
But then the crazy thing is like, you know, you learn that the attack is part of the process.
Exactly.
And then you learn to be thankful for your enemies. It's almost like you develop this mentality where you start to thank Judas.
Free marketing, baby.
But you start looking at it and you're like, okay, now I know why Jesus kept him around. Yeah.
He's part of the plan.
I knew why. It's almost like I know why Jesus took the kiss. It's like I'm going to keep you around because you're part of the plan.
Yeah.
And I think that for so many of us, we want to get to that place of glory. We want to keep walking it out, but we're afraid of that part of the process. Yeah. And with that part of the process, it comes with the accusation. It comes with, the trials and the
betrayal
and all those things, the betrayal. I don't know a successful person alive, like personally, who has not felt the sting of betrayal, that has not been hurt in some way and is really struggling with trust, the idea of trust. But I've learned now to be very appreciative for my enemies.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like without you, I would not have even known that something else was possible.
Yeah.
I would have somehow had an ideology that, you know what, I just have to keep in this direction. But it's almost like your enemies become a signpost to a detour. It's almost like they come and tell you, like, you know, in the craziest way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're going like, don't go this way anymore. Yeah. And you can go that way. And it's almost like God, again, taking that, he can turn bad situations into good, because it's almost like he allows them.
Yeah.
He allows them to be a sounding board. So I don't push them away anymore. It's almost like, thank you.
Yeah.
I need to send you a postcard to how great you made my life.
And then also, like I said, it's free marketing. They market us. They tell more people about us, whether it's hate or not. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I've learned to accept that that's part of the journey of what God has called us to do. If we were doing nothing, then nobody would ever say anything about us.
Yeah.
If we were literally living quietly, not out loud, not walking by faith, not teaching people how to live for Jesus, like we wouldn't be publicly, persecuted per se.
Mm-hmm.
And I welcome that. You can't accept God's blessing and not accept any persecution or hard times.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have a gift. Like after, we realize that somebody's a Judas and we move on, like I literally forget about them. I forget about that they even exist.
Yeah.
Like there's just like literally I forget about them. And it's not a unforgiving, mean way. It's just like I'm moving forward. Like literally eagles don't flock with chickens. And I don't think like that. That's not who I am. If you showed your true colors, you showed who you are. And babe, you can attest to this. We don't go around cutting people off. That's not even how we think. That's not even how we are. If you
be telling me like, yo, you still I'm like,
why do you still talk to that snake? He's a snake and you know who you are. Let me stop. But
well, there we go.
Well, there is a couple snakes you still talk to, but praise the Lord. You're so precious. And my thing is, I'm not going to talk to a snake anymore after I realize you're a snake. Like I can't, like, especially the snake you're talking about that stole thousands and thousands of dollars from us. But that's another podcast for another day. But I literally am like, I can't afford to surround myself with toxic people. Like I can't afford to surround myself with people who think like that. I'm moving forward, doing what God wants me to do. If you're stuck in that place, if you're dealing with jealousy and envy, and then you're bringing strife and confusion into my life, I don't have room for that. Like I don't have a place for that. I forgive you. I love you. I release you. I thank God for the time you're in my life, but I don't have time for that small way of thinking, because I believe God's going to do great things, and I can't do that hanging around with chickens.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I think for me, I'm a sucker for the underdog.
Especially if the underdog keeps burning you and stealing from you.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop.
Sorry, baby.
I think that I am a sucker for the underdog. I look at it a bit differently, where I know I get done wrong time and time again. But I just feel like I feel like there comes a point in time, and it's not anything I recommend for anybody to do. It's what I do for me. I feel like there will come a point in time where, the words sink in.
And because for a lot of those people, when you think about it in their life, they don't have anybody else.
All they have is the internet.
No, not even them. But when you think about people, some people don't have anybody to believe in them. And sometimes I feel like if I remove my encouragement for them, who else will be there? Because they find themselves in very low places. So that's only my perspective over here. I know that you and I we differ on that.
The Lord will send somebody else. Come on, a raven.
But it could be that the one that the Lord sent was you, and that you go through things. You'll be hurt. You'll be mistreated. You'll be betrayed. You'll be all those things. But I think that when God continues to put those people on your heart, it's just a place of encouragement. Hey, I don't listen. If a dog comes in my house and he bites me, I don't have to keep letting him back in my house.
Because you don't let everybody back in. Keep it real.
Right.
It's just a couple.
I don't. But my thing is that but if the dog, and I'm not calling anybody a dog, but if the dog continues to run to the house, then I could still I could still put out a bowl to nourish the person. Because that's what the Bible says, right? The Bible says if they're hungry, give them bread. If they're thirsty, give them water. But let's take a break and come back.
Babe,
Yep.
I always love talking about HelloFresh.
I know it.
Those are my people. Okay. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients, so you're not wasting any extra groceries, and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh lets you to skip those grocery store lines because I don't do lines. That's not my thing.
I know.
And it makes cooking at home easy. And what's frustrating sometimes when you've got everything you need for a dish, but you're missing that one ingredient.
I don't know anything about that. You do.
Right. But it's super annoying because then I'm like, babe, I need you to go to the store.
That's true.
But that's not the problem with HelloFresh.
Come on. Come on. I mean, HelloFresh just cuts out all the thinking in the process. Yeah. And I love the fact that you just kind of hold it up. You said, which picture, which one eat, which picture, choose a picture, this one or that one. I'm like, I'll take the chicken one. It's just, it's super easy. And then it helps with all of our different diets. Yeah. You being vegan, me being whatever I'm doing.
He calls himself Vegan Plus, whatever that means.
I'm Vegan Plus. That means I'm strictly vegan, but I also eat chicken, beef, pork, and all those things. Because I'm vegan. I'm strongly vegan.
Here we go.
I'm just also Vegan Plus. Hey, y'all, go to HelloFresh.com/LWL12 and use code LWL12 for 12 free meals.
12? Come through.
12 free meals, including free shipping. Come on, y'all. Go to HelloFresh.com/LWL12 and use code LWL12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. It's highly encouraged, all of you that to go to, again, HelloFresh.com/LWL12 and use code LWL12 for 12 free meals plus free shipping. This is America's #1 meal kit.
All right, we're back. Now, don't get me wrong. I've forgiven and still loved on people that burned us hard. Burned us hard. And I've still done that, but I just don't keep them. I can't keep them around in that sense. They're not going to have access to me.
And I mean, there are many people who I don't have access to. And I've completely turned that access off. But again, it is the underdog, because when for me, I see myself, when I look at life, I look at people and I think, why would you do that? And in my head, I think you have to be so hurt, and you have to have so much hate for yourself
to be able to do something like that.
To be that vengeful, to just be that venomous, for you to want the downfall of somebody else.
It's crazy.
You have to think the amount of torture that you have inwardly. And so I look and I almost feel very sympathetic and also empathetic towards that person, where I'm like, man, I hate that you hate yourself and your life that much. So that's on my side. But nevertheless, I think that the walk of faith, again, go back to the main point, because I don't want to make this about that, but going to the main point is that the part of the process requires hardship. It requires discomfort. And unfortunately, most people don't want to endure the discomfort that goes along with that part of the process.
And I still want to talk about that betrayal part, because I feel like a lot of people on their walk of faith are dealing with betrayal and hurt and church hurt and dealing with stuff like that. And for me, I'm so careful of my environment, right? And the people that I'm a feeler as it is. So it's so hard for me to just feel that you're just so toxic and feel that you're such a snake. Like to me, I'm a protector in that sense where I want to protect my family, protect everybody around me, and just love you from over
like that's
here.
Control?
No, it's not control, baby. The Bible calls the woman the keeper of the home. It's keeper of the atmosphere of the home. So if I believe that there's somebody that's coming to attack my family spiritually, like as I can feel the house, then I realize I need to protect it. And if I'm going to keep the home, I have to also keep it in that sense. I have to be discerning. And if I'm discerning, that says, okay, if this person keeps biting us, it's probably not wise to continue to let this person in your house.
And I definitely understand what you're saying. Just like I said about the dog, that you can, if a dog comes in your house and bites your child or bites you, then of course you don't continue to bring the dog back into the house. But I do feel like there is that sense of with the dog, if the dog keeps running back to the house, put a bowl outside and still feed him, encourage him, whatever you need to do. But at the same, I asked you the question, do you feel like it's control? Because sometimes I feel as if people who may have that type of ideology, who think that way, they have a sense of control because they want to be able to control the setting, control the box, control the house, control it so that nothing kind of gets through. And if,
I don't think so, babe.
Let me finish what
Go
I
ahead,
got
baby.
to say.
Go ahead.
Doggone it. Because they don't want to let anything else get through or let anything else get in, they leave out and it becomes very difficult for them to experience good relationships because they're so afraid that the good relationship could ultimately turn out to be bad.
Well, I don't think we should confuse control with discernment. Discernment's clear. Even after we were burned really bad recently, I still let new people in, right? Like I have a new intern that comes to our house on a regular basis, right? Like I'm still letting people in and I'm not trying to control. But if I get a check in my spirit about something, I'm not going to ignore it. Like if I get a check about a person that has proved themselves to just be dirty, like I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm going to ignore this check because bad company corrupts good character. And I believe that we have the Holy Spirit in us. And if he reveals those different things to people who have that gift of discernment, then I feel like there's a reason and we shouldn't ignore that. The Holy Spirit's role on this earth is to lead and guide us and show us the way. Then we can't say, oh, I'm being controlling because I have a check. No, God gave me that check and I'm going to be obedient. And I'm going to speak up about that check that I'm sensing.
Yeah. And rightfully so. I feel like if you have discernment, then that's good. I think that there has to be a sense of pliability with that because I mean, even with you being a discerner, like you haven't always discerned, like nobody can discern 100%. You know what I mean? There have been some that you haven't discerned.
I don't know, baby.
There has been. There have been people that you haven't discerned. There's nobody to be 100%. For you to even say it's 100%, you know this. You know that's not accurate.
Even with the people that were quote unquote snakes, I still, babe, for the most part, I called them out to you before it happened.
No, but that's no, because that
didn't happen.
But that can happen with anybody. That's what I'm saying is that we all have, that can happen with you. Everybody has the propensity for sin. Everybody has the propensity to do something wrong. Everybody has the propensity to lie. Everybody has the propensity to steal. Everybody has the propensity to do something wrong. So, I mean, if that's the case, I can discern anybody and be like, that person can do that because everybody has the ability to do it.
That's not true. That's not what discerning is, going around being like, everybody has a propensity. So you're up next. You're going to lie. No, that's not it. It's you're going and you're living your everyday life. You're loving Jesus, you're staying focused. And then, all of a sudden you get a check about a person. You don't make it up. It's a knowing that the Holy Spirit gives you that says, hey, warning, red flags with this person. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I feel like almost every time I've said that to you, that's what it's been.
But, and I love that you said almost every time, because it hasn't been every time. It hasn't been every time. And that's, I hate to bust the perfect bubble, but it hasn't been 100%. It hasn't been. And that's the only thing that I have to say. Like, it's like for me, it's not 100%. I get it. I understand it for those people who struggle with betrayal and struggle with those things. I don't think you can live your life thinking that you can constantly kind of keep yourself away from it.
it's going to happen to you.
Of course.
It's going to happen.
And it has to happen sometimes.
And it has to happen. It's like, no matter what you know, no matter, how many times you get a prophecy or some prophet, prophetess, what do they call? Prophetess, whatever them women call themselves.
Wait.
They come in, what?
What's wrong with a woman calling herself a prophetess?
What you mean what's wrong with it?
It's the way you said it.
Child. Okay. Let me shut up. But anyway, whatever you can get every amount of, prophecy you want to get, but that does not mean that you're going to be able to elude the potential of what could happen down the road.
Yeah, people are going to hurt you along the journey. I mean, even your spouse can hurt you. Your friends, family could hurt you.
It's not even they will. People will hurt you down the road, and you have to be ready for that. It was something I just heard that said it is it's like tough spine, it's tough spine, soft front. I think
thick skin, tender heart.
Well, that's the other way of saying it. Thick skin, tender heart, or it's it's making sure that you have an iron spine, but you have a soft front, because because we can get hurt.
Yeah.
Well, what'll happen is we'll have an iron spine, and then we'll have an armored front, and the armored front keeps anyone from being able to get in, and then the iron spine just makes you cold. It makes you callous. So, but I'm not saying that's what you are.
Of course you're not. I didn't think that for 2 seconds. Because I know I'm not.
You can I don't know why I'm getting. I just wanted to clarify for you.
Well, I didn't think. I honestly thought you were talking in general. I never would have thought that you were referring to me. I'm just discerning, and that is what it is. So I have thick skin and a tender heart. Still let people in. Still love people. Still walking by faith. Still, taking it one day at a time.
Well, all right. Well, we appreciate y'all for joining us here with Life with the Lindseys. And this is going to be all we have for our show today.
Well, actually, we should keep talking about this because I don't know what that is. We can talk about that on Patreon.
Okay. Well, God bless each and every one of y'all. May he lead you and guide you into all truth. And may you walk in the accordance of his holy word, and may it be a lamp under what the word say? May it be a light in the bushel and a lamp underneath thine feet. Ain't that Psalm 119?
Come on, you better know your scripture.
I don't know it all the way, but God bless you and let him keep you. Let him. Don't
join us at our Patreon, guys. Right. So I love our show on stereo.
Come on.
It's the absolute best. Every single Monday at noon, we have this encouragement where we can encourage people and do our follow-up from our podcast on Friday.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you come on. If you have not been on there before, it gives you that chance to be able to talk back to us real time. To be able to give us, if you want to give the encouragement, whatever you want to do, gives you the opportunity to do it live. Again, it's Mondays. And here's the thing. We've done it. It's Mondays. I want to make sure I make this clear. Mondays at noon, and it's Eastern time.
Eastern time, for sure.
Monday noon, and that's Eastern time. We've already done this. This is our Monday midday encouragement. We did it. And here's the thing. We have something we want to share it with you right now.
Heather, do you think maybe on a different podcast or stereo live that you could talk more about women getting pregnant outside of marriage? I know that's probably something that women go through that typically probably don't want to announce. But I currently am struggling with this, and I can't seem to find sermons to help uplift me in this area that I'm currently going through right now.
Wow.
Well, first, congratulations on your sweet baby. I'm so proud of you for keeping your child, and that's real. And I'm proud of you for that. And I can't imagine, what you're going through right now. Baby, you can tackle it first, and then I'll tackle the end of it, because I feel like I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I have I remember I had women in my when I was pastoring. I remember there was one woman in particular who came up to me after church. I was standing out in the lobby, and she said, "Hey, PC," she said, "I'm pregnant." And I'm like, "Okay." And she said, "But I'm not married." And I looked at her and I said, well, congratulations. Congratulations on your baby. And I looked at her and I said, is there anything we can do to help you? And she said, can I attend this church?
What?
And yeah, I told you about that, babe. That happened to me like 4 or 5 times. I forgot.
It just burns me the fact that, that's sad. It just breaks my heart that.
Yeah, she was telling me that the church she was at, she got pushed out because she was pregnant out of wedlock.
That's crazy.
And I looked at her, and that was when we had adopted one of our sayings, and that is, you can sit with us. And I said, yeah, you are human, you can sit with us, because the idea is, you can see for the woman, I can see what her, I can see. I'm not calling her baby a consequence. I'm not calling a baby a consequence. What I'm saying is, it's easy for us to look at the woman and say, see, I can tell what you did because I can see the result of it in your belly. I can't see that with the man who walks in, who got her pregnant, but who walks in and doesn't show the effect, who doesn't show the result of his action.
Now, y'all, Stereo is the app for live social conversations, and we want to talk to you directly, all of our listeners. You can join our show, ask questions about, hey, whatever we're talking about, whatever that topic is, and share your experiences and your opinions. So don't forget to come be a part of our Monday midday encouragement. It's the beginning of the week. You need the encouragement. Come get it from us, stereo.com. /this is Cornelius
and stereo.com/Heather L. Love.
And don't forget, the link is always in the description and bio section. God bless y'all.